guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm here today with another story time video, kind of. I'm just going to be titling it story time because I'm not exactly sure what else to call it. And you guys really seem to like my last story time video, which was me talking about my paranormal experiences and my sleep paralysis experiences. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I will link it down in the description bar, so definitely go check that out if you haven't already. But today's video is kind of different. It is a story time in a sense, but it also isn't, because I am basically telling you guys a disorder that I have, and everybody who knows me, majority of the people who knows me know about this, but I have spoken about it on my channel years ago, but I kind of wanted to remake this video a little bit because I am a lot more aware of my condition and I know a lot more about it, and I feel like at this age that I am now, I'm able to explain it a lot better to you guys about it. When I tell people, they either think I'm lying, they think I'm crazy, or they just think I'm weird. But yeah, basically I have a blood disorder, and the blood disorder is called erythropoietic protoporphyria, and if you can't say that, which not many people can, it is EPP. Basically, the easiest way to explain this disorder is an allergy to UV rays. So basically I'm allergic to the sun, I guess you could say. That's what I used to say when I was little. That's how I used to explain it to people when I didn't know much about it. I used to say I'm allergic to the sun. So I go on a lot about how pale my skin is and how white I am. That is why, because I don't spend a lot of time in the sun, because I can't. So basically I have some notes written down because I just feel like it'd be a lot easier and make the video a lot more understandable if I wrote things down and read from that. So EPP comes from a deficiency in the enzyme something. I cannot pronounce this word for the life of me, so I'm just going to write it here. Which basically leads to high levels of porphyrin in my blood. And when you have high levels of porphyrin in your blood, it makes your... Basically, when you have high levels of porphyrin in your blood, it makes you not able to go out in the sun for long periods of time. So that is the easiest medical way I can explain it to you guys. It is hereditary, so my mum's brother and sister have it. My auntie and uncle. My mum is a carrier of it, so she doesn't actually have it herself, but obviously she passed it on to me. My sister doesn't have it, and my two cousins, who are the children of my auntie and my uncle, they don't have it either. But there is a high chance that my children, my sister's children, or my cousin's children will have it because my auntie and my uncle have it, so it can get passed down. So basically it's so hard to explain it because there's so many different types of it, and it's even hard to explain my specific type of it, basically because it's different like all the time. I can't tell you the exact amount of time that I can be out in the sun for, because it depends on how strong the sun is that day, it depends on where I am, it depends on the season, it depends on what I'm wearing, depends on how much, you know, protection like sunscreen and stuff like that I have on. So it is always different, but basically I can't be out in the sun for long periods of time, and I am lucky enough to have one of the lesser cases of it. There are some people who cannot step outside at all, like one bit of sun. And there are some people who can go outside, but only for a few minutes. I'm lucky I can be outside for a relatively long period of time. Well, that's my opinion of my case. But so I can't really give you like an exact time of how long I can be out in the sun. In summer it's not very long at all, a few minutes, especially here in Australia where it is ridiculously hot in the summer. So as you can imagine, summer is not my favourite season. While I still do love the idea of the beach and everything like that, maybe that's a case of, you know, you want what you can't have. But so basically if I am out in the sun for longer than I can handle, it is kind of like my blood boils, I guess. And the reaction doesn't happen straight away. I can kind of tell when I'm outside, I can tell when I've had enough sun, and I can tell when I need to come inside, otherwise I'm going to have a bad reaction. So basically, and there's all different types of reactions as well. Some people get really sick, some people get really bad headaches, some people lose all their energy. But for me personally, it is like I'm on fire. So I don't actually sunburn, I don't go red or anything like that. There's no color change in my skin at all. It is just like, and it's not all over my body either. It is my hands, my feet and my face which get affected the most. But even if like, it's not my hands that have to be in the sun. Like if my body's in the sun, if my arms are in the sun, my hands are gonna feel it. If my legs are in the sun, my feet are gonna feel it. So, you know, you kind of get the drift. But basically it is like, it's hard to explain because I've actually never experienced sunburn before. So I can't really compare it to that because I don't know what it is like. But from people's descriptions of sunburn to me, I'm guessing that it would feel like having sunburn in boiling water and on fire. It's ridiculously painful, and my hands, my feet and my face swell up. And I have had my worst reaction that I've ever had was when I was in year 5 and I went to a school camp. I went on a school camp to Milson Island, and I was contemplating, me and my mum were contemplating on whether I should go or not, because it was a outdoor recreational camp, so it was like sporty kind of. But mum's like, you know, it's school camp, you know, you want to be able to go on school camp and experience those things. And I can kind of handle myself and I know what to do, I know what I can and can't do. So I was like, I'll just go. So my mum spoke to the teachers. My primary school teachers were aware of my condition and they knew everything. And Milson Island isn't that far away. Like, you can drive there from where I live. It's a few hours away. So my mum said to the teacher, if anything happens, if she gets a bad reaction or anything like that, call me and I will come and pick her up. So got to the camp. The camp was a week long. So the first day was completely fine. The second day I started to feel it a little bit. I was like, I don't really want to be doing all these outdoors things. I kind of need to stay inside. So my teachers basically said, okay, we'll go sit in your cabin. So I was sitting in my cabin at camp for a week by myself. I was trying to go out and do things, and like I'd go out and do the night activities and stuff like that. And I would go into the hall or whatever to have food, which was really hard because the hall was not air conditioned, and I can't remember if there were fans or not, but it was really ridiculously hot in there, and that just makes it 10 times worse. So I would try and eat my food as quickly as I could and then get back into my cabin. I was getting no sleep because obviously when I'm in that much pain I can't sleep. So just imagine how old was I? I would have been like 10, I don't know, I can't remember. But my parents aren't there. The teachers are feeding me Nurofen to try and numb the pain. By the way, Nurofen medication does not work. It does not numb the pain at all. But they were feeding me Nurofen, and I was saying, I want to go home. I need you to call my mum. I need to go home. They were saying, no, you're just homesick. You're just homesick. You don't need to go home. But they continued to feed me medication and drugs to try and numb the pain. But they didn't think I was sunburnt. They were just telling me that I was homesick, but they continued to give me painkillers, which is not what you should do to a young child. So we weren't allowed to take our phones on camp or anything like that. So obviously I couldn't contact my mum, and she didn't know how bad it was until I got home from camp that week later. So I didn't really get to experience my camp because I was in the cabin by myself the whole time, pretty much, in pain, crying, wanting to go home. So this is the worst reaction that I've ever had in my life. I've never experienced anything like this. But I got home and I got off the bus, and as soon as sorry, I just had to change the memory card. So basically, yeah, I got off the bus And as soon as I saw my mum, I started crying, and she knew exactly what was wrong. So we went home, and my hands they weren't really swollen at this point because it was kind of just the beginning of the reaction, but it was still pretty bad. And this is the longest reaction that I've ever had. It lasted for a few weeks. Usually they only last for a few days. And the really lighter ones only last for about a day or two. But this lasted for about a week, so this is the worst one that I've ever had. So we got home, and, you know, I ended up sleeping in my mum's bedroom with my mum, and my poor dad had to sleep on the couch because we didn't have a fan or anything in my bedroom, and my mum had a ceiling fan, so I needed to sleep with that on, and I slept with cold cloths on my hands and my feet and my face, and my hands and my feet and my face were ridiculously swollen by this point. They, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like I looked like I had like chipmunk cheeks. Is that how you explain it? Like my face was so swollen, my hands were so swollen, like I couldn't pick anything up because my hands were so sore and swollen and burning and itchy, and it was terrible. And with that, having the wet cloth on my skin and then having the air blown on my skin from the fan, that made my skin really dry and really fragile, so my skin split. I have scars on my hands, I have scars on my face, and I have scars on my feet from where my skin split, and this was caused by a teacher who would not let me go home from camp. So I didn't go to school for 2 weeks. I missed out on 2 weeks of school after camp. So my mum rang the teacher and said, look, I told you to ring me if anything was wrong, and I would have come and picked her up. She's in so much pain right now. She can't eat, she can't get out of bed, she can't go to school, she can't do anything. And basically the teacher was ridiculously rude to my mum, and she basically said, look, I have a class in a few minutes, I can't do this now, we can talk later. But it was just so rude to my mum. So my mum went to the principal, and the principal was not happy at all. So the principal asked my mum to take pictures of my face and send them into the school. So she did that, and I do have those pictures somewhere, but I'm not going to show you guys because they are pretty horrible. Like all my top bit here was all split. I had like little splits on my cheeks. So that was sent into the school, and the principal showed all the teachers and said, this is what happens, you need to be more careful, blah 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 blah. And that teacher, she was the head teacher of stage 5, I think it was. So she basically got knocked down from that. She lost her head teacher job, I'm pretty sure. We could have sued her and sued the school, but we decided not to, which was stupid. We probably should have, because it was permanent damage to my skin. So yeah, that reaction lasted for about a week, and I missed out on a lot of school. And obviously when I went back to school, I had scars and stuff on my face and my hands, so you know, I got a lot of weird stares and questions, as you can imagine what little kids say. So that was not very good. But yeah, that is my worst reaction that I've ever had. And I still have, now that I'm older, I can definitely control it more, and I know when I can and can't, and I can kind of handle the reactions a little bit better. Having this blood disorder also affects my iron levels and my liver and stuff like that, because I'm not getting all the vitamins and everything that I need, and my iron levels are lower than a normal person's iron levels would be, and that obviously causes me to, if you have low iron levels, you can become anemic. I bruise really easily, I get lightheaded often, and especially around that time of month, you know, it's just a lot worse and a lot harder. And I can't take iron tablets. I have been on iron tablets before, and they raise my iron levels way too much. I was taking them for like 2 days. That was over the weekend, and then I went to school on the Monday, and I walked to the bus stop. This is in the morning. I walk to the bus stop, and I wait for the bus, and I get on the bus, and I ring my mum and say, can you go to the school right now and take me home when I get to school, because I am having a reaction just from walking to the bus stop. Taking those iron tablets raised my iron levels so much that it made my sun sensitivity like ridiculous. Like I couldn't be outside for 2 seconds without getting sunburnt. So I kind of just have to deal with those little things like bruising easily and being lightheaded, and also because I don't eat meat, I'm not getting iron from that, so I have to eat a lot of leafy greens and do what I can to get as much iron as I can, but not too much, if you get what I mean. It's very difficult. A lot of people think it's just I can't go out in the sun, I get really bad sunburn, but that's not it. There's so much more to it, and it is so hard to explain. But yeah, I like to look at it as I'm happy, I'm healthy, I have a house, I have a family. There's just this one small little thing that affects my life in a negative way. In a way, I am lucky that I don't have something worse, but I'm not lucky that I have it. It's kind of hard to explain how I think about it, but that's that. So I've wanted to make this video for a very long time to inform you guys, and I've finally made it. So if you have any questions at all, don't be shy, don't be rude either. I've had a lot of rude comments, like from people in real life, obviously not you guys because I haven't told you yet, but I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice. I've been talking too much. But yeah, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, you can tweet me, you can leave them down in the comments, and I will answer them for you guys. So that is this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, so I will, as usual, I have all of my social media links down in the description bar, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.